Oh man, do you ever feel like you're in this guy's situation? It takes forever to pump up tires, and not only that, you get a workout before you even go do your workout. So this is where the Astro AI Smart Pump comes in, and this is a product that honestly, I never really thought about reviewing. Astro AI reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to review one of their smart pumps, and I thought this one might be the perfect one for in the bike shop or maybe even out on the trail. So what is the main purpose of something like this? Well, this is a multi-function pump and also battery bank. Now this has a 6,600 milliamp battery built inside to power this pump and also recharge any device that you can plug in via USB-A or USB-C. It does have an emergency flashlight if needed, but the main selling point for me on this is the pump. Now, if you're like me and you're using your floor pump a lot and you don't want to have to fire up your big compressor because it's a little too loud, this is a nice mix in between. Not only that, it's fairly lightweight and you could take this with you in your CamelBak or your backpack if you really wanted to. Instead of taking things like these little pumps that take forever to air up any kind of tire, or even taking the chance of running out of CO2 while you're on a bike ride. Now this little guy actually has enough juice to pump up 4 full-size car tires, so it'll have no problem pumping up your bike tires or your friend's bike tires while you're out on the trail. Now a couple things about this, whenever you turn this on, you will get a nice readable digital screen. At the top is going to be your PSI that's actually being read from the device itself using this hose. Now this hose will attach to your valve. It is a Schrader valve and they do supply you in the box with a Schrader to Presta adapter. Now once you're looking at this reading right here is actually going to be the PSI that the hose is reading, and below is going to be the setting that you want it to actually air up to. You're going to have multiple different modes that you can toggle through: a ball mode, a bike mode, a motorcycle mode, car mode, and then just a custom mode. Lately, I've just been using the custom mode. I have it here set to 11 for my fat bike, and it will air up right to 11. Now, if you wanted to increase or decrease, you just simply hit the plus or minus button right here. And once you've got it set to where you want it to be, you just let go of it. It flashes to indicate that that's what it's going to actually get to. And then it sets it back to 0 because it's reading the pressure that's in the hose right now. So let's go ahead and let's hook this up to my Marin. And then we'll also hook it up to my road bike and my fat tire bike and just show you guys how this works and how long it takes for it to actually pump up your tire. So the tire is completely deflated on my mountain bike tire. We're gonna also air up a road bike tire and a fat tire bike. But we're gonna use the Smart Gauge D2 to test the accuracy. As I trust this gauge, it seems to be pretty reliable and pretty accurate. So the first thing, since this is Presta, I'm gonna go ahead and add the attachment for the valve. This will take a Presta valve and make it into a Schrader. Now we can turn on the device. We got it on. I'm going to raise this up. I want to set this to 23, which is what I typically ride at on this bike. So now we got it set to 23. We can go ahead and hook the hose up. Now let's go ahead and hit start and let it pump up. So as you can see, it dropped down a half PSI and then a full PSI. It just continually reads it. So what I usually do is, if I want this to be at 23, I'll just set it to 24 and then hit run. Now it hit 24 and now I'm around my 23 range, 23.5. Now let's take this off and see if we're around this pressure gauge with the Smart Gauge D2. Right at 23. So yeah, I would say that this is pretty accurate. You just have to overinflate because it does reread it at the actual pressure. So just inflate it just a little bit more. Now let's go ahead and test this on a road bike tire. looks like this one's actually holding around 96. It may be because of the road bike being a smaller tire that it just holds the pressure a little bit better. Looks like it's reading around 93 for this, so it may be a little bit off as you get higher up in the pressure. So this is a fat tire bike. Let's go ahead and check the pressure on this. Yeah, it's so flat that yeah, reading 0. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's reading 0. This thing is pretty flat. Now, since this fat tire comes with Schrader valves, we can go ahead and just attach directly to it, which is really nice. Again, another argument as to why we should switch everything back to Schrader and totally get rid of Presta. So on this one, I want to hit 11 PSI, so I'm going to actually set this to 12.5 and see where it lands us. Okay, so on this one, since it's a bigger tire, it lost a total of 1 PSI on the second reading it did after it shut off. So that puts me right around 11, 11.5, which is ideally where I want to be. And as it's kind of moving around, it's kind of reading down to 11. So 12.5, a PSI and a half up on fat tires seems to work really well. Let's test it with the Smart Gauge. And it's reading exactly 11, which makes me think that this is pretty accurate whenever it's actually reading and it does its final read. So they should probably have some leniency whenever it gets to that pressure, maybe go over just a little bit and then it would drop down. But I understand why whenever they hit that mark, they hit it and they want to shut it off. Because with the road bike tire, as you guys saw, it actually inflated and got it exactly to that PSI and held it. But the bigger, thicker tires, like the fat tire bikes or the mountain bike tires, it seemed to be a half a PSI or a full PSI difference. So just have to kind of modify based off of the type of tire that you're actually inflating. So there you go. That is the Astro AI Smart Digital Pump. It's 79 bucks on Amazon. I'll put some links below. I think right now they have a coupon for 10% off. Hopefully that stays on there for quite a while. But this is a pretty cool pump. Not something that I was expecting to buy myself, but now that I have one, I don't think that I'm gonna wanna go without one here in my shop. If you guys enjoyed this kind of review, this kind of different technology review mixed in with bike stuff, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you guys have used one of these or if you've used a different brand that maybe is a little bit smaller that's worked just as well. But for now, get out there and ride, and we'll see you guys in the next one.